lasers on the top. So there we go. Okay. And then I'll remember to show you how to render sequentially the ordered files. And then we'll come back and we'll clarify this another day when we have more time. So there we go. Okay. Well, sorry that didn't work quite right. You kind of got the idea, hopefully. Also, guys, because you're rendering at that point little pixels of color and not geometry, it would render much quicker. Because one movie on top of another, you have no geometry to have to go through, no video post flares or anything else. So it would pretty well slam through pretty quickly. So I'll see if I can set something up during the break or something in the meantime, just to show you how it works. Okay. Okay, new scene. The fact that I get over here twice a week and that's it, kind of caught me off guard on that one. Okay. Okay. Guys, I want to now talk to you about a different way to make an explosion. It's kind of interesting. Leading up to our project, we continue to talk about explosion devices. Maybe that'll kind of give you an idea. Max offers a different way to utilize the particle array. A little different way of using the particle array to create an explosion. You actually combine the P array with a space warp that we haven't looked at yet. Something called the particle bomb. The particle bomb. Now, the regular bomb, guys, that we use on the planet, that's designed to blow up, well, geometry, objects. The particle bomb is designed to make or be working with particles. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at how we can get something like this set up. This may be a better way for you to go. It'll kind of become evident why as we go. Guys, can you go to the top window and make a sphere right in the middle? And then I'd like you to create a P array to the right-hand side of the top window, right next to it. So go to your particle systems, find the P array on the right row, last one down, and just to plant that puppy just right next door. Okay? Okay, and then you'll go to the modify column. And remember, the particle array is designed to pick something in the scene that will actually generate the particles. So in the modify column, pick object, and then click specifically on the sphere. Okay? Okay, now once you've done that, guys, let's change the color of the P array to something nice and bright. So just click on the color chip to the right of the P array name. And I always like to go with my bright ones down below, so I'll change mine to yellow. Okay. Now, as far as the sphere, go back under Pick Object and look at your particle formation. So this is going to kick these out over the entire surface. Secondly, look at your viewport display. And we want to see the mesh as it breaks apart. So go to Mesh, and then we want to see all the mesh. This little 10% isn't going to cut it, so take that up to 100. Okay. Now, this is where it changes. If you open up particle generation, one of the very first settings you have in there is speed. And it was the speed that we've used up until now to control the speed at which the particles blow out. Well, that's not how we're going to do this one. Take the speed to 0. Just right-click on the spinner. Okay? And then we also, guys, the divergence, which will control the angle at which these spin out, take that to 0 degrees. So speed is at 0, and the divergence is at 0. We're actually going to use the particle bomb to generate the speed of the explosion. Okay? Okay, now we also want this to last all 100 frames. So take the emit stop to 100. Make sure the display is at 100. And then change the life also to 100. So that'll make sure that the particles stay around the length of the animation. Okay. Okay, now guys, we have something else to control here. The P array is still going to be responsible for determining the type of geometry. We're going to use object fragments and the number of fragments. So go down to your object type or particle type. And then you're going to want to change that to object fragments. object fragments. Okay? And then after that, guys, go a little bit farther down where you say object fragment controls, and click from all faces to number of chunks. And then why don't we blow this out in, let's say, 50 chunks. Very good. Okay, let's hold right here. Edit hold. Now, guys, if you scrub the timeline, you shouldn't see anything moving in your shaded view. You might see it kind of blink for a second there, but if there was any speed, the particles would be shooting out in chunks of 50. But nothing seems to be moving around, does it? Okay, well, it's going to be the P-bomb that makes this happen. So here it is. Activate the top. Go back now to create and under your space warps. Okay, now the P-bomb, guys, you'll notice is under the forces. The particle bomb is under the forces. So go ahead now and click on P-bomb. Do you remember those old cartoons, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, or whatever? And someone would put the bomb out for it to explode, and it looked like a ball, and it had the fuse that came down in it. Okay, well that's what the P-bomb icon looks like. It's kind of cool looking from yesteryear. So what I'd like you to do is let's see where we're going to put this one. Just to the side. Let's do this. Let's just go and put it to the side here of the P array. And look at that icon in the front. That's the old-fashioned bomb. Okay. Okay, we want to bind this now to the space warp. Now, guys, remember, you can drag either way. You've got a good look at them. So we'll just use the P-bomb being selected. Go to bind the space warp. And then what you want to do is grab one of the lines so the cursor changes, and then drag that to one of the lines on the particle array. And don't let go until, again, the cursor changes. Now, if you've made connection, guys, the P array icon should light up for a second, and now it's bound down. Right-click and go to move. Okay? Very good. Okay, can you play back your top window? Top. You might want to pull back a little ways. And look now what's happening. Okay? So get what's happening here. The P array is what we're using to generate the fragments. But the P-bomb is what we're using to create the speed and the position of the detonation. So it's kind of like a combo effect here. Okay? Okay. Now, guys, when you look at it, it's obvious that the position of the P-bomb icon is important, because that determines the point of detonation, doesn't it? So stop the play. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to end up putting the P-bomb, using a line, we're going to center it right inside the original ball. So if you go to a later frame and all the particles are out of the way, now you can actually see the original sphere that you created. Okay, so with the P-bomb selected, guys, go to a line, and click on that. And then I'm just going to work at the top. It's nice bird's eye view. Click on the original sphere. Very good. Okay, position X, Y, Z. And then just center to center. And then you can click apply and then OK, or just OK will work. Okay, so now these should blow out now from the middle. So go back to the perspective view. Activate that and pull away. And now play back the perspective view. And now look at the way they blow. You got it? So it's the P-bomb, guys, that's now creating the actual force of the detonation itself. Okay, now let's change a couple things. Stop the play. And go to a frame where you kind of get the particles next to the object there. Looks like they're coming out in kind of a spherical fashion, right? Okay, you have the P-bomb selected, go to modify with the P-bomb selected. Okay, the first of which, guys, notice that you've got an option for blast symmetry. So right now, these are shooting out spherically. Go to cylindrical. And now play that back in the perspective view. And they kind of blow out to the side. See the difference there? And then change it to planar. And that just He cracks it open like an egg. So it shoots it up and down. Go back to spherical. Okay, very good. Okay, now after that, guys, let's continue to let it play here. The start time. Right now, it's sitting there for 1 second, 30 frames before blowing. Let's take the start time to 10. Now, as far as the duration, watch this. This is going to set the number of frames beyond the first frame, okay, when the force is actually applied. So you don't want it to be applied simply the first frame. Now, get this. Typically, the smaller numbers work better. So the reference manual says keep that detonation between 0 and 3. So we'll just kind of leave it where it is. Okay, now the strength. Now, first of all, guys, make sure the strength is set down below to linear. See the strength number, and then below that where it says linear. Okay, so it's shooting out in a straight direction. Now, what we're going to do now is adjust the strength. This is going to change the speed at which the particles blow away from the position of the P-bomb icon. So try a strength of 3. Try 5. Okay, try 0.1. Try 0.3. So you get the idea there. Okay, notice no rotation at all, huh? Okay, we can take it back to 1, strength of 1. Okay, stop the play, and let's position our timeline to about frame 12. Remember, it explodes at 10. Okay, now, guys, what I want you to notice on this is the strength will now determine at frame 12 just how far the particles are away from where they started. So when they higher strength, push the particles farther away at this point. If you change the strength spinner, you go to a higher strength, the particles go farther out. If you go to a lower strength, well, at frame 12, they just haven't gone as far. So I just wanted you to see how you can actually evaluate that by way of just changing the spinner. Strength does go back to 1. Okay, I'll play the perspective view again. Okay, now here's the big one. Here's the big one. And here's the reason that I suggest that we look at this. Stop the play real quick and go perspective full screen. And then go back to maybe about frame 15 or so. It's the range. This little thing called range. See the spinner here at 1,000? Guys, this controls the maximum distance away from the P-bomb that the fragments will be affected. Now, the cool thing about this is you can decrease this range setting, and you can adjust things, guys, so it makes it look like only half of the object blows away, and the other half stays around. I mean, think about something like a car. You know, if you had a force, let's say the car's driving down the road and you have this huge explosion of dynamite over here, it's probably not going to blow the entire car into fragments. It'll blow the front of the car in fragments, but the rest of the car will remain as one piece. You ever thought about that? Maybe with an explosion, the front of the house gets blown away, but the back of the house stays. So you can control how much of it actually blows out by way of this range. Okay? So this is what I'd like to do. Let's go back to about that frame 12. Okay. You still have the P-bomb selected? What I'd like you to do, guys, is this. Grab the P-bomb by the green stick and move it now to the right. So we now know that it's going to blow in the opposite direction. Okay? Okay. Now what I want to do with this now is to go start to play this back. Okay, now what we can do is we can adjust the range so it looks like only a portion of this is blowing away. So change the range to maybe 500. Okay, still too far. Change to 100. Okay, well, that's too much. How about 250? Okay, so it's somewhere in between. So this is what I'm going to suggest, guys. Stop the play and go back now to around frame 12, or let's say 15. And what I want you to do is to lower the range using the spinner. Look at this. So it starts to grab and not let go. I'm about 150. And if I now play this back, look at this. See, it's not all blowing out now. You see that? Okay, now if you say to yourself, well, that's really neat, but I've never seen particles maybe move quite that slow. Well, this is kind of a give and a take and adjustment. What you can do is you can crank up the strength number, and then you can simply adjust the bomb and the range to be a point where it only blows away portions of it. Look at that. You see how that's working? Okay, it's only blowing away the front of this thing as opposed to the entire object. So that's the advantage. You can't do that with just a regular P array. You can do that, guys, with this range that comes with the particle bomb. You got that? Okay. So here, let it play. Change the strength to 10. And then if you need to, you can always again, adjust the range. So let that thing play. You can just see how you can adjust the range, so you can then determine just what parts fly away. Okay? Okay, now to make this a little bit more realistic though, guys, we need a little bit more adjustment to the fragments. Now that's back on the P array. So stop the play and get the kind of the chunks away from the object that are blowing, but still in the scene. Okay, go back and select the P array. Go under the bindings and select again the name P array on the stack. Okay, so to make this look more realistic, guys, we need to change the thickness of the chunks, and we need to put some spin on these in some shape or form. Okay, so here we go. What I now want to do, guys, is go to my rotation collision. So with the P array selected, put your mouse in the right-hand column. It's a white hand. Right-click, and then just go down to rotation collision. You might have to go a little farther down, but get that visible. Okay. So guys, with the spin time at 0, these aren't spinning at all. Remember, the number that you put is how long it takes in frames to make a 360 spin. So take the spin to 30. Now go ahead and start to play it.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now, one issue we got with this is it looks like they're spinning right away, when in reality, we didn't have this thing blow until, what, 15 frames in or 10 frames in? It was 10 frames in, wasn't it? So maybe we got to do? We have to keyframe the spin. We have to take the spin down to 0 for the first 10 frames. Does that make sense? Then we can put the 30 in there. So stop the play, go back to 0. And take the spin time to 0. Take the spin time to 0. Turn your auto key on. Okay? Okay, now go to frame 10. Now guys, this is the point at which the ignition takes over. So this would be the last frame at which they don't spin. But remember how you can lock in the same value and not change it by creating a key? Hold down Shift. Go to the spinner for spin time and right-click on either of the spin time spinners. You see the red brackets? You see the key on the timeline? You have no spin for the first 10 frames. Okay, go to 11. Now we want to put the 30 in right away. Auto key is on. Okay, take spin time to 30. When you press enter, guys, you'll have a red bracket on that one too. The red bracket says I'm keyed at this particular frame. Now play that back. Okay, now one of the problems with this is you'll notice the one that you have continue to stay on there do continue to spin around. So you might actually have to have almost a second one. That would add a little bit extra work here to try to get those to stop. It'd have to have a second particle system. So maybe what I do, I'll turn off my auto key. Let's change, first of all, the thickness on these. Let's change the thickness. So go a little farther down. Oh, I'm sorry, go farther up. It's above rotation and collision. It's where the number of chunks were. Okay, make sure your auto key is off. You don't want to key this, guys. Make sure auto key is off. And see the thickness? Change that to about 5. There you go. Okay, now if you need to make some adjustments on here, go back to the bomb. And I think what I need to do is maybe make it so it looks like a little bit more of this is blowing away. So I'll adjust my range a little farther here. So maybe only the back part that I don't maybe see quite as well from this angle. And then let that blow. Fine. So there you go. Now those might be spinning a little bit too fast. But you can see, it might be a little bit of tweaking here, but you kind of get the idea. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do on this, guys, is these are very fast moving. I think blur is probably going to be needed here. If you're making something fast move, guys, in your projects, you got to make sure you consider blur. Go get closer in on the particles here at 15. Render 15. Okay, so if these have any speed to them whatsoever, we got to put some blur on here. So the blur, guys, well, where are the particles coming out of? The P array? It's the P array you want to blur. So go back and select the icon for P array, and then we'll right-click and we'll go to Object Properties. Well, guys, as we saw last time around with the helicopter blades, frankly, I think if you kind of stick with the object and the image blur, you'll be able to take things quite a ways. So let's see how this would possibly look. So let's start with object blur. Very good. Say OK and render 15. Look at that. So that looks good there. And then change over instead, cancel that, right-click on the P array, and change to image blur. Now, what the image blur advantage is, guys, is you've got the multiplier, the side-by-side frame range that you can then adjust. So let's do this. Let's try, first of all, a multiplier of 2. Type that in, because it'll go to a decimal. And then close it and render. It's a post effect, so notice it takes a little extra time. That's another thing to possibly think of. The image blur seemed to be a little faster there. I'm sorry, the object blur, okay? Okay, right-click again on the P array, open it up. And let's change instead to 5 multiplier. This will really make these blur and render. So the larger the number, guys, the more obvious is that the object blur renders quite a bit faster, as it adds it right away. It's not a post effect. But look at that. Okay. Now you could go too far. That might be too far there, all depending on the speed. Change the image blur to 10. And set that and quickly render. That'll take more time. The bigger the number, the more that has to be calculated. So it's something that you need to consider, what your machine can do. And these aren't that slow. And how much time you have. So look at that. Okay. In reality, guys, probably a 3 on this would look best. One more. Just change the multiplier back to 3. So the object blur puts it on right away and doesn't give you, at least in that little box there, the duration. Multiplier. Renders faster. The image blur does give you that immediate setup and renders quite a bit slower. So you can see the difference on that. Okay? Very good. Okay, now go and close all that up. And what we want to also do, guys, on this is we would want to set up a visibility track on the original ball. For now, we'll just hide it. So right-click on the ball and hide selection. Okay, kind of get those in view here. And let's change the P array color to navy blue. Change the P array color to navy. And we're going to render these on a white background so you can actually see a little bit more vividly the blurring. So hit 8. That'll simply open up your environment. hit 8, and then you'll see, guys, in the top left corner, the background color being black. Just grab the tint color. See the white? Just grab the tint and pull it up and copy it. That's the fastest way to get white. Okay, close that and quickly render. And up against now the color or the white background, you can actually see that blur probably a little bit better. So there it is. Okay? So you can set up a visibility on the sphere that we just did. You set up a visibility on the chunks on the P array, and you'd have a different way of making that explosion. Okay? Okay, let's do a new scene.